Hello and welcome to me talking about cool music and albums that came out in 1991. There's been a lot of cool debuts from bands and artists in this year, as well as a bunch of legendary albums that I'm sure you've heard other people talk about. But I have some interesting stories that you might have not heard about, and going through this list, you might have not even known that it came out this year. And there's also something else that debuted that year, me. So this is why I'm talking about this, because it's my birthday today, and I thought I might as well just go through the year of 91 of music. So, first off, notably, Meshuggah. Come on, that's when Gent was born. The year Gent was born, their debut album, on January 1st. I just want to make note as well, like this David Lee Roth album, this is the last album that Jason Becker actually recorded on. He started to develop ALS, and he actually only recorded 2 songs on there. But yeah, Jason Becker is a legend. If you don't know who he is, he's a legendary guitarist. And go check out Cacophony and his solo artist stuff. Yeah, and even these 2 songs that are in there, because they're freaking awesome. Let's go down. There's Innuendo. By Queen. This is the last album that Freddie Mercury did with them, because he actually died of AIDS that year, unfortunately. So, yeah, there's that. The Butthole Surfers, Tragically Hip. Yeah, if you're Canadian, you might like this band, but I am Canadian and I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I've just never been able to really get into them. But yeah, is this their debut? 5th studio. They've been around for a while. There's a lot of bands I know of. Like, I know of Vanilla Ice. Oh, it's a live album. Yeah, there's a lot of live albums in this list of like bands that don't know what they're gonna do anymore. They're just trying to make a quick buck, because they're either glam metal or Vanilla Ice. Rem, I know of. What else we got? Did I miss something? Never gonna give you up. There's that guy. Not much happened. There's Mr. Big, sure, some shreddy goodness of Paul Gilbert. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, so not much happened in like the first 3 months of 91, but it gets better as we go along, so don't you worry. There's Arise by Sepultura. You can't go wrong with that. Like, it's a great metal album. Yeah, Alanis Morissette, that's when she also debuted, so that's kind of cool. You get to do Frank Zappa, Best Of, Temple of the Dog. So this is their one and only album, but it's like it's a compilation, a super group basically of like Chris Cornell. There's an Eddie Vedder appearance on. That's the album that has the like song "I'm Going Hungry," and then like a bunch of other artists that eventually form Pearl Jam and stuff like that. So it's a great album, tribute to the guy that died he used to be the lead singer of Mother Love Bone. I know that much about that album, and it's a very good album, emotionally captivating. Let's just say. There's Yes. There's just Yes. Melvins put out an album. Did they debut? No, so third. They've been around for a bit. They're the ones that started off the whole grungy thing with Soundgarden. I think for all the legends like Alice in Chains were in there too. There's Primus with their album Sailing the Seas of Cheese, second album, so they're pretty new. Halloween, Seal, Kissed by a Rose on a Bed. Smashing Pumpkins, debut album as well. I can't say I've actually heard this album, but I do like their next one. I think they nailed that. I want to talk about NWA for a second, because I watched Straight Outta Compton a little while ago, and then I listened to NWA's first album, and I loved it because Ice Cube was in it. And then as of recently, I listened to their second album, and I did not really enjoy it for basically one reason. So basically, the whole time, this group of guys were just like rapping back and forth about like banging chicks, and I was like, okay, this is getting a little bit much. And then all of a sudden, near the end of the album, they're just like bragging about the fact that they had sex or like gangbang with like an underage girl, and I'm like, are you serious? I was like, I'm never gonna listen to this album again. And you know what? I'm just gonna listen to Ice Cube from now on. And Ice Cube actually put out an album this year as well, which we will find eventually, which I will suggest going to listen to. I know of Skid Row, Typo Negative, their debut album as well, came up in this year. Foreigner, is this a live album? So, oh no, okay, cool. Van Halen, of course, we all know Van Halen. Do we love this album? I don't know. It's their 9th studio album. Anthrax, LA Guns. It's funny because these guys, Guns N' Roses used to be LA Guns, and then they formed Guns N' Roses, and I guess they were still putting out albums, but then Guns N' Roses put out, as you'll see, in this September, I think. Was it September? I don't know. It's coming up. Use Your Illusion, when they just like blew them out of the water with that. There's Green Day put out 2 albums this year, so this was like an in between their first and second album, but just like a collection of recordings. Cannibal Corpses' second album, which is, we all know and love that album cover and that album in general. Let's see. Alice Cooper, sure. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey came out that year with their awesome soundtrack, Boys in the Hood, great movie. Go check it out. There's my boy Ice Cube. Moving on. What we got? We got Mudhoney. I know of them. Metallica. So this is when things start getting good, man. So obviously this is their 5th studio album, the Black Album, or just their self-titled, where this album, we've all talked about it and know it, and probably most of us love it, probably because in the fact that like it's their most commercially accessible, and let's just say it's a banger of an album, and it's the most sold album even to this day. And it just keeps on selling. So yeah, they obviously did something right there. Mr. Bungle, this is also their debut album, and they got Mike Patton, the lead singer of Mr. Bungle, got picked up by Faith No More a little bit after this, and I've been compared to his singing style, and that's actually how I learned about them. I was like, who is Mike Patton? I will check it out. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Blur. Okay, this is kind of cool because like Blur's debut as well ended up creating Gorillaz after a little while, and they're still killing it. There's Pearl Jam 10, their debut album as well. I don't know. I love Pearl Jam. Do you love Pearl Jam? Let me know. Especially this album. They have so many of them, but it's either that, their second, which is Versus, or Vitology. I think it's other right, as my favorites. But yeah, cannot go wrong. Overkill, Rush. So if there's a Canadian band that I do love, it's Rush. There's their 14th studio album. God, I couldn't imagine having 14 albums out. If only I had the time and the money to do that. Dire Straits, Oingo Boingo, Stanley Elfman's band, the guy who made the Tim Burton music, Ozzy Osbourne's No More Tears. This is freaking great album. This was Zakk Wylde. I don't know if this is Zakk Wylde's first album he did with Ozzy, but I don't know, man. It's amazing. I can't say enough good things about it. Go freaking check it out if you haven't. September was a great year for a lot of things. Obviously, I'm talking about albums here, not me. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Boom bada bing, motherfuckers. That's good shit. I grew up with that stuff, so can't go wrong with that. A lot of glam metal bands making compilation albums or like live albums because they're like, what do we do? Oh my god, this grunge thing is happening and people are getting tired of us. Pixies, did they debut this year? No, they've been around for a while. Never really followed them too much. It was Brian Adams for you. Okay, so around this time, freaking stoner metal was born with Caius. This is their debut album as well, and obviously, if you don't know Caius, they put out a few, but then Josh Homme and this bassist guy ended up forming Queens of Stone Age, which is one of my favorite bands of all freaking time, by the way. So stoner metal was born. Obviously, you have to make note, like everybody does during these, 1991 anniversary blah blah blahs. It's Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. Can't go wrong with that shit. And then obviously, This is the same day, actually, this came out. Like, look at all these albums that came out that day. But most notably is Nevermind. And, of course, everybody talks about this album, especially around now. I'm sure there's going to be so many videos being like, oh my god, it's been 30 years. But yeah, I know. I am exactly that old. Yeah, great album. Can't go wrong. I got it when I was like 12 years old. And it changed my life, as it did many, many other people's. And it basically told the world, hey, grunge is a thing, and you should pay attention. And yeah, anyways, moving on. I'm not going to go too much about that because everybody else does, and you all know how great that album is. Reba. Oh, Reba. Reba. And Soundgarden. So a little while after, on October 8th, Bad Motorfinger, one of Soundgarden's best albums, came out that year as well. And Vanilla Ice, fuck you, dude, get out of here. Joe, Motley Crue put out an album, I guess. Oh, it's Greatest Hits, yeah, of course it is. Suffocation, debut of Suffocation as well. Holy shit. I want to make note, this is one of my favorite Death albums. Shoot me. It's kind of melodic, and that's what a lot of people hated about it. But I love me a good melody, so shoot me. Pennywise. I don't know really of Pennywise other than they came on tour around me. I was like, oh, cool. I don't really know, but they also debuted that year. Super cool. Super cool. Some sort of like punk band. Queen putting out a Greatest Hits album. One out. Here's my boy, Death Ice. I was gonna say Death Cube. Death Cube for cutie. Ice Cube's Death Certificate. Second studio album came out that year. Heck yes. Carcass. What we got? Carcass. Third album. They've been around for a bit. But sure. Sure. We're coming up on the end of it, but I don't know if there's any really, except for this. Tupac's. Tupac also debuted that year with Tupacalypse Now. I have yet to hear that, but I'm going through a little bit of a rap phase right now, so I will come across that for sure. And if there's any other albums that I'm missing, please let me know down below so I can check them out. Because there is a lot. And there's that Green Day album that, you know, their second actual album came out the same year. I'm really always like fascinated by bands that could just like put out 2 albums in 1 year. It's like, sure, now you can do that like nowadays if you're like doing it all by yourself. But I just don't have the time. So, because I gotta work. And, you know, when I'm not working, I'm trying to do stuff. Keep my mental health in check. I'm trying to relax, do videos, and do all this stuff. So I'm trying to do this all in one go. Do a little bit of editing here and there. But it's my birthday, so I'm not going to spend too much time doing that. Thank you so much for checking this out. And, you know, acknowledging that 1991 was a great year in music. I got a new song that came out today. It's called Variables. It's under Jesse Junk, blah blah blah. I'm all on all the socials. In the description you'll see. I'll put a link to the Spotify link and all that good stuff. And go check it out. Put a lot of effort into that in my in-between times. And I'll be doing a lot more. Like actually, I got a lot more songs coming out. They're already done. And I'll just be putting them out like that. So if you want to follow me on Spotify so you get notified and all that good stuff, that would be super appreciative. I would be appreciative of that. That's what I'm trying to say. I never know how to end these things. So all I will say is peace out until next time. Thank you. Bye. Oh, right. I'm only in the corner. That doesn't really do shit. Oops. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you noticed, I cut my face at work yesterday, which super sucks because I got a music video to film today, so I'm going to go do that. Bye!